There are plenty of ongoing rumors in the NBA today related to the current situation and plans for the future. Everything from canceling the 2019-20 season and changes in teams is possible right now. As always, there are good rumors and also there are bad ones. In this video, we will focus on the positive rumors that are going around these days. Welcome back to the Clutch Central channel. Lay back, grab your favorite snacks, and be prepared to hear some of the rumors that will surely make you smile. We would suggest that you subscribe to our channel because in one of the next videos, we will go over the rumors that we hope aren't true. We collected 10 of the best rumors out there, so pay attention and tell us in the comments what you think about the rumors in this video. Would you like them to be true or not, and why? Number 10. NBA HORSE competition. The NBA may be suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic, but live basketball action of a different kind might air on ESPN. The network's Adrian Wojnarowski provided the details. The NBA and ESPN are working on televising an HORSE competition involving several high-profile players. He wrote, players shoot in isolation, presumably in home gyms, and match shots against competitors. Details are still being finalized. Andrew Marchand of the New York Post listed Oklahoma City Thunder point guard Chris Paul, Houston Rockets floor general Russell Westbrook, and Utah Jazz shooting Donovan Mitchell as names that could be involved. He also mentioned New Orleans Pelican forward Zion Williamson as a possibility, but no players have been confirmed at this time. Alternative NBA programming may be the norm for quite some time as COVID-19's spread continues in the United States. Of note, ESPN has been airing an NBA 2K tournament between 16 players, a competition that began Friday. The NBA's return does not appear imminent. At least 359,558 people in the U.S. have confirmed cases, per the latest World Health Organization figures, and at least 10,662 people have died in the country. With that in mind, ESPN's Brian Windhorst reported that there is a significant amount of pessimism regarding whether the 2019-20 season can be resumed in any capacity. Therefore, an HORSE competition between players is feasible as the league stays on hiatus. At the very least, it may bring some people out of temporary retirement, with former Boston Celtics great Paul Pierce responding to the original Woe tweet with, "I'm in." The NBA has held official HORSE events 3 times during All-Star weekends in 1978, 2009, and 2010. The Phoenix Suns' Paul Westphal won the first, while Brooklyn Nets forward Kevin Durant, then of the Oklahoma City Thunder, took the last 2. NBA free agents. No LeBron James, no Kevin Durant, no Kawhi Leonard. The free agent class of 2020 doesn't have anywhere near the star power of recent years. That doesn't mean, however, that key pieces, especially for teams contending for the 2021 title, aren't out there. The biggest question, it seems, is when free agency will happen. With the coronavirus pandemic leading to the NBA season's suspension until further notice, free agency's original start date of June 30th looks less likely by the day, while the NBA draft can theoretically be held in the middle of a season because it won't affect anyone's roster. Free agency obviously cannot. If the NBA season doesn't resume before mid-June, the league will almost certainly have to alter its off-season process and push free agency down the road. Whenever it happens, we won't see the massive superstar moves as James leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers for the Los Angeles Lakers, Durant escaping the Golden State Warriors to team up with Kyrie Irving on the Brooklyn Nets, or Leonard leaving the Toronto Raptors after just winning an NBA Finals. The biggest name among this year's group of available free agents, Anthony Davis, will become an unrestricted free agent, but considering the success he and James have had together in LA, it's nearly impossible to see him leaving. But here are 3 impact players who could leave for greener pastures and bigger paychecks. Number 9. Fred VanVleet. Undrafted out of Wichita State in 2016, Fred VanVleet has since become one of the better point guards in the league. He doesn't have the name recognition of Lonzo Ball or the explosive athleticism of De'Aaron Fox, but VanVleet was a huge piece of Toronto's championship run in 2019. His previous deal, which paid him $18 million over 2 years, has been a bargain for the Raptors, especially considering the career he was having in 2020. Toronto will have his bird rights, meaning that they could exceed the salary cap to sign him, but it will be interesting to see whether someone wants to make him a bigger offer he can't refuse. The team will have roughly $59 million tied up in Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam, and it also has to determine whether it wants to hold on to the 35-year-old Marc Gasol and the 30-year-old Serge Ibaka. Toronto is unlikely to retain all 3, and if the market for VanVleet blows up, he might be headed back to the States. Prediction: VanVleet stays in Toronto. Danilo Gallinari. Around the trade deadline, Danilo Gallinari was a hot commodity, especially when it came to the Miami Heat. Team president Pat Riley wanted to add the 31-year-old, along with Andre Iguodala, to make an NBA Finals run. But Oklahoma City and Miami never came to an agreement, and Gallinari will become an unrestricted free agent. While he's no longer a number 2 option on a contending team, Gallo has found a second wind late in his career, averaging 19.2 points and 5.5 rebounds per game while shooting better than 40% from beyond the arc. He made a little more than $21 million this past season in Oklahoma City, and he will likely be able to command even more whenever free agency opens. The Thunder have a massive amount of money tied up in Steve Adams and Chris Paul, and signing another 30-plus player to a long-term deal does not make a whole lot of sense. Teams like Miami could well be in the hunt for Gallinari during free agency, and the right offer might be enough to get him to leave. Prediction: Gallinari signs with Miami. Number 7. DeMar DeRozan. Sent to the San Antonio Spurs in the trade for Kawhi Leonard in 2018, DeMar DeRozan has made the best of what hasn't been a great situation. When the league suspended play in mid-March, the Spurs were 12th in the Western Conference with no real hope of making a serious run at the playoffs. Without Leonard, San Antonio has relied heavily on DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge to carry the scoring load, and at 30, DeRozan is no longer a number 1 option on a contending team. His contract, which paid him $27.8 million this season, might be a bit prohibitive for other teams, especially because he's not exactly young. He has a player option to remain in San Antonio, but it wouldn't shock anyone to see him at least test the free agent waters to see whether a contender is interested in landing him. Prediction: DeRozan stays in San Antonio. Number 6. Las Vegas, only city under serious consideration for 2020 NBA playoffs. Any chance the NBA can finish its suspended season may lie in its capability to hold playoff games in Las Vegas. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated reported the NBA is looking into having its entire postseason in Vegas, where the association's annual summer league is held in Cox Pavilion and the Thomas and Mack Center. A source told Mannix that the league was nowhere close to formalizing anything, but that it's pursuing all options to resume play somewhere. What is becoming clear is that the NBA's traditional postseason, featuring 4 rounds of best-of-7 series with higher seeds receiving home court advantage, is out of the question, according to the sources Mannix cited. With that in mind, Mannix wrote that quarantining in one location is the only solution, and Vegas is the only city the NBA is currently giving any kind of serious consideration. Before we continue talking about the rumors that will brighten your day, we would like to remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and to turn on notifications so that you don't miss the second part of this video with rumors that aren't all that great to hear. Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget that by subscribing, you are helping our channel grow, and you are becoming a part of the always growing family. Number 5. President sees fans returning by August or September. President Donald Trump expressed hope that fans will be able to attend games by August or September during a conference call with commissioners of several leagues, according to Adam Schefter and Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. Trump also said the NFL should be able to start its season on time, although the authors add that it's not clear if medical experts agree with the timeline. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver noted that the sports leagues were the first major U.S. enterprises to shut down and would like to be the leaders in restarting the economy once public health officials provide an all-clear signal. The NBA was the first professional league to suspend play, making the announcement March 11th. A return to normalcy by late summer would come far too late for the NBA to have any hope in finishing its season in front of crowds, but the league has discussed holding a few regular season games and possibly an abbreviated playoff format in empty arenas. Number 4. Second training camp period. Celtics center Enes Kanter estimates it would be a minimum of 2 or 3 weeks for players to get their bodies in great shape. Part of the reason, he said, is the sheer time players have had away from the court. Kanter believes a second training camp-like period would probably be needed. You can't just say, okay, we're going to play the games a week later. Some players are doing some things. Some players are in their apartments not doing anything, Kanter said during a conference call. We need to make sure everybody is doing their stuff and is in good shape to go out there and compete if we jump straight into playoffs. Number 3. Derrick Rose, Bogdanovich likely staying put. Pistons point guard Derrick DeRozan will stay with Detroit, barring an unforeseen offer, Per Yahoo Sports' Vince Goodwill, Yahoo's Chris Wayne has reported that the Sixers were interested in trading for Rose, the youngest MVP in NBA history. Now 31 years old, Rose has averaged 18.5 points and 5.8 assists this season. Goodwill writes that though Rose is likely to remain with Detroit, the Pistons will seriously consider an offer for him that includes a lottery pick, an asset the Sixers do not possess. Meanwhile, the New York Times' Mark Stein reports that the Kings are optimistic they could retain Bogdanovich this summer, when he's set to become a restricted free agent. Sam Amick and Shams Charania of The Athletic named the Sixers and Hornets as teams interested in Bogdanovich, a 27-year-old guard with a knack for scoring off the bench. Stein says the Kings' desires to keep Bogdanovich was a key factor in their deal with the Hawks on Wednesday night. Sacramento sent a disgruntled center, Dwayne Damon, and 2 second-round picks to the Hawks in exchange for Jabari Parker and Alex Len, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Zach Lowe. It never seemed probable that the Sixers would be able to snag Rose or Bogdanovich, given the team's limited attractive assets, Detroit's reported asking price for a lottery pick, and Bogdanovich's upcoming restricted free agent status. Number 2. Players, owners want to finish the 2020 season no matter what. The NBA has never ended a season without a championship, and they reportedly want to keep that streak active in the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic. Players and owners want to finish the season no matter what, ESPN's Ramona Shelburne said Monday on Outside the Lines. If that's in July, if that's in August, if that's in September, so be it, Shelburne said. I don't think anyone wants to start a new season without crowning a champion from this season. The NBA suspended its season on March 12th, shortly after Utah Jazz big man Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus. 9 other players, including Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant, have tested positive since then. 4 unnamed members of the Denver Nuggets and Philadelphia 76ers organizations have also tested positive. Despite the NBA's intentions to finish out the 2019-20 NBA season, Shelburne said the league is taking things day by day. Their response to the coronavirus is constantly evolving, especially as directives from federal, state, and local officials are doing the same. But I think we are all learning that you can't predict this thing, Shelburne continued, and anybody who tells you they know what's going to happen in a month or two is lying to you now, because that's what the league is grappling with, just like all of us. Number 1. Brooklyn Nets potential blockbuster trade hunters. The Nets are subject to more validity than any other team that employs 2 superstars is supposed to be. They have a clear path to title contention after signing Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but their championship hopes hinge entirely on both of them remaining healthy. That's far from a given for either player. Durant is attempting to come back from a ruptured right Achilles, an absolutely devastating injury. Irving's surgically repaired right shoulder hasn't crossed the chronic issue threshold, but he has missed 15 or more games in 6 of his 9 seasons. Even in the age of precaution, that isn't normal. Caris LeVert gives Brooklyn a cushion if he develops into a 3rd star, or the Nets could try taking matters into their own hands by consolidating assets into a more established 3rd wheel. Brooklyn has some interesting starting points to peddle. LeVert, Jarrett Allen, and Spencer Dinwiddie are all impact players, and a combination Rudions Kurucs, Dazan Musa, and first-round picks can be used as sweeteners. Whether this war chest is enough to get the Nets in the mix for a 3rd star is debatable. Dinwiddie turns 27 in early April, and LeVert 26 in August, and are older than most blockbuster trade magnets. Allen will be 22 when the next season tips off, but he's not someone around whom a team can build its entire future. Combining 2 of the 3 with other assets makes for an intriguing package, but for who? That offer can be beaten if the Bradley Beal sweepstakes kick off. The same goes for Drew Holiday. Aaron Gordon is a potentially nice fit, but doesn't provide much offensive assurance in the event Durant or Irving misses serious time. Standing pat and letting the midseason trade market develop is always an option. Then again, maybe not. The Nets title window isn't open-ended. Durant and Irving can re-enter free agency in 2022, player options, and letting head coach Kenny Atkinson walk when he hinted at a palpable sense of urgency. Brooklyn seems primed for a significant trade this summer, whatever it might be. Before we wrap up this video, we want to thank you for watching and to invite you to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our videos. And leave your opinion in the comment section. Thank you for staying till the end, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!
What did we just see? How did he do that? He sees things way before they happen.